I'm gonna tell you guys about myself today. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So, I was born in 1994, April 18th. I was born in a country called Togo, in a city called Lomé. That's the capital city of Togo. That's in West Africa. So I lived there since I was a little kid, and moved to America when I was like maybe 3, 4 years old. Moved to America. I moved to New York City. I lived in Jamaica, Queens. And yeah, if anybody knows about Jamaica, Queens in the 90s, it's a very interesting place. A lot of different cultures there. It's a very cold place in the wintertime, very, very hot in the summertime. A lot of cultures there. A lot of people, going for different things, hustling and bustling. It's a very fast-paced life. So I lived in Jamaica, Queens as a little kid. And I learned a lot there. Lived in, big high-rises. And from there, I lived there a couple years. Then I moved to Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I lived most of my life. So I moved to St. Louis, Missouri, young kid, started going to preschool and first grade, everything out there. And that's where I learned a lot, for real. Coming into America and being from West Africa, different culture, living in New York, there's a lot of cultures there, so that's pretty normal, No one really cares, because everyone is from different cultures. But when I moved to Missouri and I lived in St. Louis, I really stood out because I was the only African kid in my class, So I was very different from a lot of kids in preschool or whatnot, I was also very skinny, different style, wearing African clothes, whatever. So I learned a lot, very, very fast just from moving from different places, being all over the place, different cultures. And growing up, kindergarten, first grade, I always felt very different from, a lot of the kids, because no kid had a name like my name, Emmanueli Adzoh, I had a very different name. I had a very different, when I go home, the things we'd be eating would be very different from the kids in my class, So I had a lot of different experiences than them. So, yeah, lived most of my life in St. Louis. Growing up, and my neighborhood was, a pretty diverse neighborhood. There's a lot of Hispanic kids, a lot of black kids, a couple white kids. But we'd grow up, we would just go and just play outside every day, have fun, get in the street fights, cause trouble, whatever. But this was our daily stuff, getting in the fist fights on the street, running around, causing chaos in the neighborhood, little kids, little rugrats, just doing whatever, I went to Kratz Elementary School in St. Anne, and part of Rittner School District. So then later on I moved to O'Fallon, Missouri. So that was very, very interesting for me, as well as another culture shock, because living in St. Louis and living in O'Fallon was very, very different life, So moved to O'Fallon, learned a lot. Again, I felt different from every kid because I was African, right? So I had a very different culture. Then I was the only black kid in my class of very, very few black kids, And then, but on top of that, I'm African, so I'm way different. Have way different name. Came from way different culture. Been all over the place. So again, I was kind of felt little bit different than a lot of the kids, you know. So, but whatever, you know, I made a lot of friends. I learned a lot of skills from moving all over the place. I learned how to really, you know, deal with a lot of different types of people, and I learned about a lot of different types of cultures. And when I was a kid, I traveled a lot. You know, I've been to France, I've been to Portugal, I've been to Germany, I've been to Togo, West Africa, I've been to Ghana, I've been to Spain, I've been all over the place, for real. I've really been all over the place and traveled a lot, and had got the opportunity to experience a lot of different cultures and a lot of different people. So yeah, that's what my childhood was like and my upbringing, you know. A lot of street fights, a lot of having to defend myself because I was different than a lot of other kids, you know. So and I was skinny as well, so, you know, I guess people thought it'd be an easy fight, but I was never an easy fight. Or even if I lost, got my ass whooped, whatever, I'd still be there the next day, ready for more, you know. Actually, I'll tell you guys a funny story. I was like in first grade on the bus, right? My best friend's name was Tyler. We were 7 years old, whatever, first grade. We're on the bus, and like a fifth grader comes up. Her name was like Shay, and she was like, you know, a pretty big fifth grader, kind of tough, I guess you could say. She was a girl actually, but she like came in, she was like trying to take our seats. Like, yeah, give me that seat, you know? And I'm like, nah, you know, you're not taking my seat. Mind you, I'm first grade this time. And basically you get into a fight with this lady, Shay, you know, fifth grader, whatever. But she never tried it again.